Hey you. It's not every day you carry a baby pigeon, is it? Hey buddy, hey. So yeah, I love birds. So can I fit you up there? There you go, that'll do. Right, story time with UncleRed. How do I put this? Over X amount of years of people asking me about the Vulcan S and whether I love this bike and all that sort of stuff, and the answer is always the same: oh yes, plan to keep her for many, many more years. I have found recently that I am missing power. Now, there's quite a few of us who've shared the same sort of sentiment when it comes to the Vulcan S. Kawasaki, if you make a 1000 of this, or a 1200 if you're feeling also generous, or if you're able to somehow marvellously engineer the H2 engine for one of these, hilarity ensues. But unfortunately, it seems that Kawasaki have stagnated, if that's the correct terminology, on the Vulcan S. We see changes to the paint job every year. I've seen that there's not really a lot of change to the actual bike itself, although some people have been saying if you are trying to use one of the booster plugs, power commanders, whatever you want to call them, they no longer work in the 2020 models, 2021, 22 and above. So basically the jerky throttle is always going to remain jerky unless you find a way to, I don't know, you can redo the map or something. So I love this bike. I love my Jelly Bean. She's been absolutely fantastic over the last 33,000 miles, or 34 coming up now. And I found myself along the motorways, along some of the dual carriageways and so on and so forth, like, Jelly has enough power, but I just want more. You know, I'm greedy, basically, is what I'm getting to. But when you're hitting about 70 miles an hour, you're in 6th gear and the engine's just purring away, it's all great, it's all good, but when I need to do like an overtake, or if I need to get around someone sharpish, I just feel like the top end power, the 650 engine can only do so much, is what I'm trying to say. I want a bigger one. And the problem that comes with that is, what bike does what I need it to do? So I recently borrowed the Kawasaki Versys 650 as a courtesy bike, and you know, I'm not big on adventure bikes. What the hell are you doing? Terrible driving. Sorry, getting distracted. I've never been a massive fan of adventure bikes, but I think the first experience I had was on the Pan America, and I really loved it. How comfortable it was, where the display sat, the screen wasn't too much of an issue for me, because usually I get a ton of buffeting off those things. And yeah, it just sort of worked. And then I tried the Triumph Tiger, which didn't work out for a video, sadly. And then I tried the Versys, and you know, I don't know, I feel like I'm in that sort of phase at the moment where I want more power, but I don't know what has more power that also has what I want it to do. For example, my speedometer, I don't want it to be a dial, I want it to be digital, because all I want to do is just look down 55, bam, that's it, I know how fast I'm going. With a dial, it's kind of an iffy, at least for me anyway. I can clearly see that I'm doing just over 4,000 revs, but I don't know exactly how many revs I'm doing, you know, so that can stay as a dial, but I need a digital display that tells me, you know, gear indicator is obviously optional, but I want to know how fast I'm going on a digital display. And what I found with the Harley, what was it, Sport Glide, was it? Yeah, Sport Glide. I love the pants off that bike. It's comfortable, it's a beautiful bike, but the problem is it's got one of those dials, but it's all the way down here. I don't want to look here to know how fast I'm going or what I'm doing. So that's my conundrum at the moment. That's one of my big problems. Cruiser, adventure bike, sport bike, whatever it is. I was going to get into a tangent about an electric bike that someone wanted to sell for 90 grand. That looks absolutely diabolical, but I'll skip that. I'll just mention it, but I won't go into detail. A lot of guys, when they move up from the Vulcan S, they'll go to the Indian Scout, and I like that bike, I really do. The only problem is I find that the Indian Scout's more tucked over, it's more uncomfortable for me, so I need something with the comfort, and I think ideally I need something with that flair, because the Vulcan S is very beginner friendly, and that's, you know, I like the idea of being on a beginner friendly bike and showing people with the ride outs, which I do, like, hey, let's just go for a group ride, let's do this, let's do that, let's go to the Peak District, let's go see the Vulcan Bomber. And then you get a collection of these bikes come together, and it's nice just to have a nice parade. But yeah, that's where I'm at. If I move up to a bigger bike, you lose the, well, in theory you lose the friendliness of a beginner bike as a Vulcan S, and also a bike that's also good for the older generation or people with very minor medical conditions that have an issue swinging a leg over something a bit bigger. And then you've got elitism, which comes with some of the bigger bikes as well. I think if I was to throw one out there, sorry not sorry, there's some BMW riders out there who don't like to nod back. You know who you are. So I don't want to be part of that club. Anyway, that's me. So have yourselves a lovely one. I will see you later in the next one, maybe something. Just a quick one before I go. Myself and Rhythmic are going to the NEC Birmingham motorcycle show, blah, 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 blah. I don't know exactly when. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'll probably put something up on my YouTube as well. It depends on how many people actually see those YouTube posts, because, you know, YouTube. Sorry! And we'll just go from there. So have yourselves a lovely one. I will hopefully see you soon, or maybe not, but you'll watch a video, I hope. Ta for now. Ta for now.